Okay. Now, let's go here. See if YouTube likes it. Okay. It says we're live. Now, let's go. Alright, I can see myself here. I'm on my channel. That's nice. Okay, y'all in the chat, hi. Let me know. Again, we got to do the standard streaming stuff. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if everything... Again, post down in the chat. Let me know if my levels are coming through. Okay. Hey, Mark. How's it going? Hey, Rid, Fatal, Sean. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Alrighty, it looks like we are okay. Alright, cool. Thank you very much, everyone, for hopping on. Looks like we're good. Oh, yes, and the chat box is working too. Oh, God, I was so worried about that. But yeah, hi, people. Thank you very much for jumping into this live stream here. Well, you know what? I'll kind of break things down a little bit, give people some time to get notified and jump in and everything. I don't know, YouTube, with Twitch... I will one day get more active on Twitch. But the thing I love about Twitch, when you start a live stream, people are notified when your live stream starts. Just bam. You are knowing, hey, so-and-so is streaming right now. YouTube, it'll take like 30, sometimes 40 minutes to send out the notification. Oh, hey, that stream you wanted a reminder for. Oh, it started 30 minutes ago. So, I mean, we won't wait that long, but I want to give people a chance to kind of roll in here, kind of, you know, send out the tweets and do everything. How is it going, everybody? Thank you all very much for jumping in. I see some familiar faces here, see a lot of people in for this. So here's the deal with this stream today. This was a suggestion. Well, I mentioned on Patreon that I wanted to do another stream, and I let the patrons on the producers tier choose what type of stream we were going to do. And I gave them a few suggestions. I said, hey, want to do a game. Do we want to do a game night? Do we want to just do a Q&A? And then I threw them the kind of experimental thing. This was something I've been wanting to do for a while. Back in the days of like DVD commentaries, when those were a much bigger thing, like, man, I loved director's commentaries. I owned like the first 10 seasons of The Simpsons on DVD. Every single one of those has a director's commentary, and it's great. I miss director's commentaries. Why? Even in the world of streaming, I'm sure you could figure out a way to do it. Like, bring back director's commentaries. Oh, but yeah, I pitched the idea, you know what? How about we do a live stream where it's a director's commentary, but instead of just thinking of stuff about the video, I will take your questions on the particular video as we're watching it. So, yeah, you guys will actually control the ebb and flow of the of the commentary. So you guys can ask questions about this. I'll provide my comments as the episode plays, but I'll be watching the chat to see your guys's to see if you guys have questions, to see what things you guys would want to say. Anything you want to ask about this episode or this particular era of Rock Critic, you know, this is a really old school episode. I let the patrons vote on this one too. I forget what I threw up there for a chart for candidates, but this was the candidate that won the commentary. So yeah, I will say that super chats, people who send questions in super chats, those questions will get priority. So, you know, if I see a super chat fly around, that is a question that will get priority over others. But I'll try to answer your questions as I see them come by in the chat. Yeah, Ben 1, I'll answer your question here first. Why this one particular video? I actually let the patrons over on my Patreon vote on this one. I gave them a choice between like 3 or 4 videos, and they decided to vote for this one. So, okay. I believe this was... specifically, this was the first full-length episode that I ever did in the new costume. This was when I finally ditched that terrible hat. We all remember the terrible hat days. We all remember the bad hat era of this channel. But that was when I ditched that old costume and This was the very first long-form episode that came along. And yeah, you know, again, I let the patrons vote on that, and this was the one they wanted to see. So, thank you for the super chat, Bud9000. Do you think this album would have been received better if it wasn't from Bad Religion? See, Bud, well, I'll answer your question and then we'll start the video here. But no, see, I think I even go into the video. It's that, you know, no matter who was making this album, it was still really amateurish. You know, on prog album standards, it doesn't really hold up because, you know, they're still really young. There's not a lot, you know, they're young, you know, well, I mean, not even that, but they just didn't have the chops to pull off a proper progressive album like that. It's pretty rough, man. It's pretty, for a punk band or a prog band, it's rough on both sides of the coin, you know, so, oh, it is what it is, you know. I still find it as, like, kind of a guilty pleasure, and I still say they should throw that on, like, streaming services. Just let people experience it, you know. But I also 100% understand why they don't necessarily. So let's go ahead and play the video now. Thank you again very much for the super chat. Again, I'll try to answer your questions as they come, but super chats will take priority. Full disclosure, I'm actually moving here in a couple of weeks. I'm still living in the Indy area. I'm just moving to a new neighborhood. But I mean, I would super duper love any super chats, any contributions you guys are willing to give. But I mean, that's not like the point. I mean, I'll take your questions. We'll have fun. The point of this is to just have fun and offer something to my patrons over on the Patreon. You know, they were really patient in waiting for this one too. So here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and play the video. Let me know how the audio levels are for this, because I can adjust. Hopefully the audio from the video is coming through, but hopefully it's not too crazy, like it's not drowning me out or I'm not drowning it out too much. It should be like a fairly even balance. But, well, if that wants to go away. Yeah, let me know how it sounds. Not to say it's a bit too quiet. Okay, I will jump that up a bit. Yep, the old Lexicon Devil. Lexicon. I miss Lexicon Devil. If I can be real, I turned it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit more. Okay. How does that sound? Again, I want to make sure I'm not drowning myself out while I'm speaking here. So, yeah. Still too quiet. Alright, I'll turn it up a little bit more. Let me turn it up over here. Maybe that will help. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Now how's it sound? Just a smidge more. Okay. How about that? Better, but still too quiet. Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay, cool. Remember when I made an entire video about this? Like, yeah, people. I like, that was the gods. Okay, now it's a little loud on my end, so I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. But yeah, foreshadowing, you know, yeah. That was the thing. I always wanted to make a video on that Godsmack song, and this was foreshadowing to I'm eventually going to make a video about this song. And eventually we got there. It took us, like, what, 5, 6 freaking years to get there, but hey, we got there. And yes, in the chat I saw earlier, rest in peace, Lexicon Devil. I hate that we had to take that course and drop that as our theme song, but like, I kept getting copyright notices on it. I know YouTube started cracking down really hard on music about like 3 or 4 years ago, so I was starting to get hit on, even for that like barely 3 seconds I would use that song, it kept getting dinged, it kept getting claimed, so it was like, okay, our days are numbered with this, so we gotta do what we gotta do, you know. It is what it is, but Yeah, it's weird seeing. Here's a question, TV Island. Do you think Into the Unknown will get semi-ironic critical revival like My Teenage Dream? Um, See, here's the problem with that. I don't think so because it is pretty bad. Like, it's not like a hidden gem record. It has its moments. It's better than it has any right to be, frankly, but it's still bad. I have to cop to that. It's still really bad. It's still pretty hard to sit through and take seriously. Oh yeah. That hair. Dude, I miss it. I'm growing it back out again, but even then I miss my locks, y'all. I miss them. I miss that, and weirdly enough, this is during a weird time where I used to flat iron my hair. Oh my god, this part. Oh, super chats. Thank you. Hikikimori Masquerade. Okay, apologies if I mispronounced that. Do you find it hard to watch your older videos? Yes. Yes. Absolutely, yes. The thing is, I mean, look at this guy. Look at this silly little fucking Dickens over here with his fucking... Fun thing about how I did that, I actually did the fake blood thing that, the old Evil Dead, Sam Raimi, corn syrup. I used corn syrup, red food coloring, and blue food coloring to make that sort of fake blood. And it still kind of looks like crap. It still looks fake as shit. It doesn't look real. So, I did my best. With that. Another super chat. Thank you, Martien Raymarson. Again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. Thank you very much. How do you generally look back on your old ones, especially with a story and whatnot? I find it hard to watch this stuff. I'm not like to the point where, there is a lot of stuff I probably would have done differently if I were wiser, if I'd known, what some of it would lead to. There are certainly things I would do different, but I don't necessarily regret it, but I also don't like to go back and watch... I just don't like watching my own material, just because it seems like... I don't know, that seems kind of narcissistic. Just in raw concept, I don't like do that out of like raw pleasure or whatever, but I don't know. I also, there is also the kind of the cringe factor. It's like, oh wow, I really thought that was a good idea. Why did I do that? Like, but it's also, I don't know. I feel like a lot of creators are like that though. It's hard to go back and look over your old stuff because all you can think about is, oh, I should have done this differently. I should have done that. There's so much I could have done. Like, and this stuff too. It's like, there's so many weird little things in here that, like, this shooting angle right here. Like, do you notice how it's so like, this whole video is out of focus. Like, particularly when it's on these segments on me in front of the camera, it's so out of focus, and I know exactly what was doing it too. It was something with my lens and everything, and the just shooting space I was using, but it was something I didn't know. It was something I didn't catch. So now when I see this, you guys probably wouldn't notice something like that, but when I was rewatching this video for consideration, I was just like, God, this video is so blurry. It's so fucking blurry. How do people watch that and not get annoyed? Because I see that and it's like, you suck. You suck. So, but there is a question here. I see your super chat, UF Music Dump. Thank you very much. But there is a question in here from Kiefer Livingston I do want to address. How to get into Bad Religion? Yes, it'll happen. It'll happen someday. I honestly would love to try to make that happen this year. Hopefully before the end of the year. But like I said, I have a lot going on right now. My schedule is crazy busy. My day job, that's another big reason why I haven't seen a ton. Like, my video output has kind of slowed, even for me here lately. My day job has me running ragged, people. I am just super busy. I am super duper. It's a miracle I got the Fimi out on time, I am just so busy here lately. But, I would love to get How to Get Into Bad Religion done, hopefully sometime before the end of the year, but that'll have to be after the move here. Okay, now for your super chat, UF Music Dump. Hey Crash, do you think a retrospective format would work for Oasis? I know you don't want to bring it back, but it would be great. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, UF Music Dump. Here's the thing. For one, I wouldn't want to do retrospectives. There's only one more retrospective I might do, and even then that would be like... that part right there, this is how 97% of bassists are formed. Yes, like probably 97% of bassists are guitarists who just didn't make the cut, or they just happened to be the worst guitarist in the band, so, hey, somebody's gotta play bass. Get on it. That was how I ended up playing bass a lot. But, here... Oh, sorry, what was the question? Oh, the retrospective. There is one retrospective I would like to do. Maybe I'll do it someday. But that's not even like, I don't know, that's a long time coming. Oasis, though? See, I don't know, Oasis, their first 3 records are the ones with the interesting story. Those first 3 records, everything up to Be Here Now. And then it just kind of tapers off really dramatically, and it starts getting really boring, so I wouldn't have much to say about that, honestly. There's a good Oasis video in there somewhere. I could definitely make a video on Oasis. I've always wanted to cover Wibbling Rivalry, just for shits and giggles, if y'all know what that is. But yeah, there is some stuff that could be possible there. How to get into Limp Bizkit. I'm sure somebody else could do that for you, man, but not me. Not me. Any other how to get intos you're planning on doing? I have a few. Again, Bad Religion is a big one. I would love to do a how to get into on, like, Lamb of God, or, the Red Hot Chili Peppers is another big one I want to do someday. I don't know, I have a lot of ideas for how to get into, that I would want to do. Again, it's scheduling. It's scheduling, it's trying to make it work. The next how to get into will most likely be Bad Religion. So that's pretty much probably, again, people have been asking me for that one. People really want to see how to get into Bad Religion. And, I want to give it to you. But it's just a matter of figuring out how to get that scheduled and everything. See, I love this part of the video here in particular, where I'm gushing and talking about, like, early Bad Religion. Because the thing is, people, how could hell be any worse? Again, it's rough around the edges. This era is very it is very raw. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily the best punk you could find from this era. But man, it's... Again, you take into matter... What? What? So why the sing-along thing? That's another thing that I kind of don't like about this era. Some of the jokes just don't really hold up. Or I thought they were funny at the time, but they really stopped being interesting after a while. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Alex Kawa. Excited for the new Rise Against? Sure. I've heard the singles. It sounds like it's going to be pretty good. Thank you, Veggie AJ, for the chat. Thank you very much. How to get into Guided by Voices or The Fall? I'm not as familiar with those bands, so I don't know if I'd be able to do them justice. But it's, it's not completely ruled out. Thank you very much, Joey Jojo. Perhaps a retrospective on Offspring. Their history is pretty wild. I agree, Joey Jojo. That could be an interesting one. I could certainly do it. Oh, Flipper. Oh, Saiyan gimmicks. Remember Saiyan gimmicks? Remember when I was trying to push the whole Super Saiyan thing? Oh, that was... I'll still pull out the Super Saiyan thing from time to time, just for shits and giggles, but, like, again, I try to shy away from the goofier gimmicks like that now. I don't know, that stuff kind of has a shelf life, so... And yeah, Flipper. You want to know another video that's probably going to happen someday? And I hate this song on Flipper, or just something about Flipper, and I'm just warning you people. That probably won't be a very positive, a very sunshiny video. I don't, like, despise Flipper the way I, despise some bands out there. They're not a band worth, like, hating, but I just do not like Flipper. Thank you for the super chats, Flame King. Do you think prog and punk could ever work together in any capacity? Also, have you spun this album since the video? Discord boy. Oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, Flame King. I recognize you from the Discord. Punk and prog can work. It has worked in some instances. I would say, what was that one record from, what's their name? King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Oh. Yeah. Again, another self-referential thing that... remember when I used to make music? I am still actually... That's another thing I'm working on in the background. I am working on more music as well, but again... Between that and keeping the video schedule and my work running me ragged, y'all, there's so much stuff I am working on, but just making, like, no progress on, so... But yeah, music making jokes, but, yes, Adequate Emily, Cobain would be disappointed in me. I get it, but, like, I'd just rather listen to any other bands that Cobain liked. Oh, hey!
Let's call it specific.
Gee, I wonder if... one thing that's kind of come up lately, ever since I came out of the closet, one thing that's kind of come up are people making little references to me dropping hints that, oh, of course Crash wasn't straight. Check out this. That was a fun little, yeah, Crash, Mr. Straight Crash, are you sure about that? Like, it's fun seeing people dig up those little moments, and I'd say that's definitely one of them. But Flame King, prog and punk could work. I've seen some bands do it before. This is just not a good example of that, sadly. Again, that's a thing. Again, a little nod to Bad Religion fans. They would know what that's from. But again, another thing I don't like about this era of the show necessarily, something that is kind of hard to watch, something that has definitely soured on me, is just... Oh, wait. That's a good bit. I love that bit. I still love that bit. That is a great little bit. I loved making that bit so much. I used that as, like, a Twitter profile picture for, like, months. For a very long time. That was one of my... That's probably... Yeah, Alex Swift, that's probably my favorite joke from the bit. Just the... Yeah. The thing is, I had just bought a green screen by the time I made this video. That was actually my first green screen effect that I had ever used on the channel, if I'm remembering that right. I do believe this was when I first purchased my first green screen, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to use it, and we're going to do something like that. This. Oh, yep. For those people that have asked, that song is actually Hocus Pocus by the band Focus. That's Hocus Pocus by Focus. That's not confusing at all, but I have had people definitely ask, what the hell is that song from Crash? Hocus Pocus by Focus. But yeah, but again, well, with the last joke, where I reference Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's a lot of comedy from this era that is unfortunately in kind of the Doug Walker mold of things, where it's just references, where it's just pointing to another thing that exists and say, hey, look, Raiders, or hey, look, another pop culture thing. It's just a pointing towards, which, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not, I don't like to do that. Except for this. This was great. This was a great little focus, digging up these old ESPN bloopers and whatnot. I don't know, that was fun. Again, it was cool to just... Listening to this album, it's so weird to think that, like... Again, the comparison here to their last record, How Could Hell Be Any Worse, where it's so raw, it's so aggressive, it's so loud and in your face, And then literally the next thing, the very next thing they follow that up with is something that sounds so dated, so 1970s Sports Center, so 1970s. It sounds almost like it was made in like the mid to early 80s, but it sounds like it's more from the mid 70s. And it's not in a good way either. It's you know, it's so it is so weird, you know. But yeah, it was very jarring at the time, and to be honest, it's jarring now. You know, even people, because that's one of the things I worry about when well, not worry about, but when I eventually do get to how to get into Bad Religion, we are going to have to we're going to have to actually mention this, and it's going to be such a big contrast, because everything else you've heard from this band is such a night and day thing, you know. Why does it look like Vegas, Bud 900? I don't know. Yeah, not much thought was put into this album's production. You can tell. You can tell, can't you? Oh man. Yeah, again, an abstruse one. It depends on how the reference is used. Yeah, I mean, it's not a cardinal sin to like reference something else, or to just or to use a reference to another piece of media. Oh wait, speaking of references, okay, I want to lay it out there. This was pre Trump stan JonTron. This was before we knew about his unfortunate political views. I don't know. This was before we knew all that shit about JonTron. Yeah. Yeah. And like, again, stuff that hasn't aged well, stuff that I would definitely do different next time. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's one. That's a great example of something I would rather not do again, you know, but yeah, I get it, people. I get it. Yeah, again, it's one of those, but again, that's an example. When reference humor can be good, it can honestly be, yeah, Hendrix, JonTron is a huge Republican, huge Trump stan, huge, loves him, but we're not gonna get into that. Well, again, it's more to the reference, it's more to state that sometimes references don't age the way you want them to, or they can go into directions you would rather they not, or nobody can predict the future. Nobody can predict what's gonna happen. But yeah, it's, you know, it is what it is. And the thing is, like, I try to avoid stuff like that. Not always. I'll still pop in references here and there. Thanks for jumping in, Spectrum Pulse. Thanks for jumping in, Mark. Out to say, you have a nice night. Yeah, again, just this was one of the funnest parts of the video. Just let's listen for a minute. It works so well. That was the most fun part of this video, was just finding different old clips of stuff and just trying to see how it would sync up, and it syncs up so well to old 80s action stuff, to old 70s stuff. The big one is coming up later. Oh, Miami Connection. Oh, Miami Connection. Oh, y'all should watch that movie. Like, especially if you like bad movies, you already know about how good Miami Connection is, but like, oh yeah, y'all should watch. Yep, y'all know what's coming. But yeah, oh. See, that was fun. I found so many good. Oh, great question from Alexander Schoten there. Who did the thumbnail? Oh, the thumbnail, very, very well done by my friend Emily Sampson. She is actually an independent artist. I should have her stuff here. Emily Sampson, or EJS Creations, she is an independent graphic designer. I went to college with her. We were friends. We are still friends. I haven't talked to her in a while though. Since the pandemic, you know. It's been hard keeping track of certain people. I don't know why, but for some reason that piss looked weirdly green in that part. For some reason I just could not. I believe that's actually originally a blood squirt effect. I believe that's actually like supposed to be like bright red. So I had to try to change it into yellow, and that was the best I could get it done, so it looks kind of green. But yeah, no, the artist who did the thumbnail for this, Emily Sampson, EJS Creations, and she did I just took a commission from her, and she did a fantastic job. Emily's done a lot of thumbnails for me. She did almost all of the thumbnails on the How to Get Into Weezer videos. Those were all her work. She also did the thumbnail for One Hot Minute, the one where it's me in the One Hot Minute dress with Lil Diva as the pixie. She did that too. Emily does fantastic. She is a fantastic artist. It's just a shame that I haven't. It's a shame that I haven't really been making videos that I could put to use to where I could commission an artist like that, because man, she does good work. She does absolutely excellent work. She even designed some back when when I had Rock Critic themed merch on my spring store, I commissioned artwork for her to do specific stuff for that. The Pop Team Epic pose of me and Diva as like Papuko and Pipimi-chan. That was actually done by her. If you remember that old "fuck you" T-shirt and poster for that it was very on there for a while. Oh yeah, I saw this question. Sorry, I kinda got in here. Liam Russian, make a long form review of Doug Walker's The Wall. He's in the bin. Doug Walker, Channel Awesome, that whole thing. They're in the bin. They're in the bin. Yeah, rest in peace, Bowie. Rest in peace, Bowie, man. Like, again, you can kind of see what they were trying to do on this particular... there's definitely Bowie nods. They are looking in a Bowie-ish direction for what they're trying to do. But, like, comparing this to Bowie is very generous. Very, very generous. Yes, but look up Emily Sampson, EJS Creations... online. She does lots of illustration work out there. Yeah, she's absolutely fantastic. I'd use her more if I had more. I don't, like I say, I just don't have the need for it much these days. If I do though, I will definitely hit her back up. She does fantastic work. Yeah, but that's not... I don't know, so many other people have done that horrible record justice, and I even had my punching bag moment with it too. You don't need it. You don't need me to jump into that. Go watch almost anybody else who's covered that thing. We don't need to analyze that one. That one's been analyzed. We get the idea. Devin Sterling, thank you for the super chats. Off topic. Besides Seether, what are your other regret bands? Okay. This isn't a direct answer to your question. Again, stuff that hasn't aged well. Stuff that has not aged well. That has aged well. See, again, right next to each other, we have examples of something that hasn't necessarily aged well and something that has aged well. I guess Where's the Fair Use? That was noble in and of itself, but I don't know. You forget. Oh yeah, Where's the Fair Use? That was the Walkers. But sorry, Devin. To answer your question here. Other regret bands, this isn't a direct answer to your question, but my next long-form video that I would like to get out, I would love to get this out before the move. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but the next long-form video I might put out here is going to be my top 10 guilty pleasure songs. So that's the next big project I'm working on. I'm currently in the middle of scripting that. And, like, yeah, I will be covering a lot of regret. Not only are they regret songs, but they are regret songs that I still enjoy. Even though I wholeheartedly recognize that they're not very good, I still enjoy them. So we're going to do, we're going to do a long-form video on my top 10 guilty pleasures. No, Fatal Envy, Belinda Carlisle. Belinda Carlisle will not be on that list, only because that's not a guilty pleasure. I feel no guilt in listening to Belinda Carlisle. Heaven is a Place on Earth is a bop. Oh, and but we're talking about Belinda Carlisle during this part of the video where it gets... See, this is another thing about my old videos I don't necessarily like. I guess it has its moments. I have moments where I've done this okay, but sometimes I get too fucking serious on my channel. Like, I really do. That's a genuine thing people have brought up to me.
It's just a bit too cerebral for a punk rock album written by teenagers.
Okay, I brought it back. I brought it back there, you know, but there are moments in my channel where, and you know, people have come down on me hard about this, and you know what, I can't say I disagree, where I get too serious. Again, when I just pummeled Doug Walker for The Wall on my last Worst Of video, like, even that, I'm like, yeah, that album sucked, but like, I mean, I went in super hard. I went in super duper fucking hard on that one, and like, anytime I go in that hard on an artist, I always feel like afterwards, like, oh, I should have just been more chill, you know, because you know, now that time has passed, now that I've had a little bit of, you know, now that I've had the chance to cool off a little, it's like, oh, what was I getting worked up for? You know, even if it was that bad, and I still think it is that bad, is it worth getting worked up for? There's, you know, I don't know. I can understand where, yeah, and again, y'all make good points, like Emily here, he aided abuse, so like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he did. Those bands that I got worked up for, they did shitty things. Five Finger Death Punch literally... you know, they literally advocated mask off, you know, they were, you know, I don't know, there's stuff out there, it's like, yeah, they deserved it, but, I don't know, I always regret getting that fucking mad about stuff, I do, I don't know, just because, you know, I don't like it to get mad, I don't like to be not chill about things, but, you know, it's like, I don't know, some bands, some artists, they really do have it coming, just... Ugh.
But again, even though it's sing along, kiddies. So not bad religion.
Again, that's definitely the motif for this one. Just, man, this record is not. It's so not Bad Religion. Oh. Yep. Here we go. Yeah, if you do know your Bad Religion, you know why the Todd Rundgren thing is apt. You want to know why that is? Because fuck. Oh, their lead singer. Why did it escape my mind? Greg Graffin. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there. Greg Graffin, their lead singer, he is a mega fan. Mega Todd Rundgren fan. Cites him as one of his biggest influences. And he actually went on to produce a couple of their records. I believe he produced The New America. I think that was the big one that he did. Unfortunately, it's one of their worst records, too. But, yeah. Oh, bruh, your battle jacket fired. Thank you very much. I still do have that battle jacket. I do still have that. It's just in a closet. Like I said, I eventually stopped wearing this costume, too. A, because I wanted to stop doing costume stuff. And B, because it was so fucking hot. It was so fucking hot shooting in a denim vest, a wool knitted stocking cap in front of bright stage lights that light me up. God, people, that was a sweat box. A sweat box. And in this video in particular, I'm wearing 2 shirts under it, including a cotton flannel. I used to wear flannel underneath denim with another shirt on, with a hat, with... God, good lord, it's a miracle I didn't get a heat stroke. It's... What on earth was I thinking? Oh.
Yeah, fuck you, neocapitalism. This is for butt fucking the middle class and raping the environment. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Feel the burn.
Oh my god. Again, it sucks that joke still hits in like 2020. God, that joke shouldn't hit in 2020. It sucks that still hits, doesn't it? That joke, I wish that joke were dated. Right? Don't you wish that joke were dated? Oh my god. Oh, dude. But again, a good green screen bit. I had just gotten the green screen. I wanted to. I. Yeah. Yeah, that's. Sometimes a reference just works. Sometimes a reference is just absolutely wonderful. I like that. That's another good example of using a reference right. You know, I don't know. I'd say there are examples of that, of bad referencing and good referencing in this one. But yeah, that was just that. The first thing I thought of when I heard that song was, yeah, this is Limousine. This is just Limousine. Na 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 do 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 na 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 do do. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I had just gotten. But again, I had just gotten a green screen. I was trying to think of ways I could integrate that, ways I could use it, and again, Wall Street, I believe. No, this was pre Occupy, or not pre, but post Occupy. Occupy had been over for I think a little while, but it was still on people's minds. People were still thinking about Occupy, most definitely. So, and I believe this was 20. Well, this was before the 2016. This was either before or like right after the 2016 election. So like, yep, that first Bernie campaign, people were still talking about it. So, thank you for the super chat, Rin Callanan. Sorry, this is off topic, but did you hear the new Black Country New Road album? It's like that Black Midi from 2019, only more jam. I haven't, but I've heard people talk about that one, Rin. I believe I have that as a potential on my next round of Fimmies. I have that on my listening list, but I am aware of it. I will probably give that a spin, and we'll see how it fares. We'll see how it flies in. Alexander Shelton. So, are you a sup, yo, or a howdy kind of person? I'm honestly, I'm a howdy person. I like howdy. Howdy howdy is so, I don't know, it's hypocritical because I'm from Indiana. You know, that's too north of the Mason-Dixon to get away with saying howdy, but I don't know, sup, yo, they sound so bro-y, they sound so macho, like sup, like yo, you know, I don't know, like howdy, anybody can say howdy, anybody can enjoy howdy. Okay, this interview right here with their original bassist, I believe that was, or their bassist for this particular vid, that was kind of hard to dig up. That was hard to dig up back at the time, because again, no one talks about this record. That was another research challenge that I had for this particular video, because no one wants to talk about this. The band doesn't even really like to talk about this, and I get why, you know? Again, I understand why they're hesitant to really relive this period of their career. But I don't know, especially the other two guys. I believe their original bassist and their bassist for this project and their drummer for this particular album. It was hard to find any information out there from them. Next to any information. I could barely even find pictures. The one picture I showed earlier on of the whole band, that was like the only picture I found of the band from that era. I don't know, maybe my Google foo isn't great, but well, it certainly wasn't that great at the time of making this video, for sure. But I couldn't find a lot on them. I was very lucky to find that interview. I could find almost nothing from the drummer. I could find... Okay, this... Why, though? I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but why? Why does that there? Why? I don't even know what I was thinking, and I made the damn video. Like, okay... Dona Eis Requiem? Alright. I guess I just wanted to throw a Monty Python joke. I do love Monty Python. I am a huge Python head, but, okay, sure, whatever, Crash. Whatever, past Crash. Whatever floats your boat, dude. Thank you for the super chat, Devin Sterling. What was your last concert before COVID? Mine was the original Misfits. Mine was actually, I got to see Bob Mould, solo. I got to see him in a solo show during the Sunshine Rock tour. And he was actually, it was weird because it wasn't like a full band show. It was literally just him and an electric guitar just banging stuff out on stage, which you'd think would be like, why on earth would you go to a show where it's just a guy and an electric guitar? Just, that sounds so fucking, that sounds really lame, that sounds really dull. No, he killed. He absolutely killed it. He absolutely ruled that entire night, man. Dude, like, Bob Mould. Again, Zen Arcade and, fucking, Husker Du, man. That's another video I could certainly make. I need to talk about Bob Mould and Sugar and Husker Du. Just that whole sort of oeuvre, man. I need to get him in sometime. He's a great, absolutely great performer, man. I don't know, again, I even mentioned Zen Arcade a couple of times in this video, because, again, the punk rock concept album, while this was a very early prototype of that, it wasn't the first. I don't know, some people would argue even Zen Arcade wasn't the first, but it was one of the first things that kinda helped push things out the door. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Wiz Blue. Do you like Tame Impala? Not so much anymore. I remember being really impressed by Currents. I don't know, I can still put on Currents. Currents kind of got memed into the ground. I don't know. Everyone memes that fucking album, and that kind of killed the vibe with it. But I don't know, I would say. I kind of went through a phase with them. Like, I liked Currents when it first dropped, but my appreciation kind of wavered over time. The record they dropped after that didn't do much for me at all, really. Yeah, I don't really care for them much. I don't hate them necessarily, but, yeah. Exactly, like, again, Bad Religion, they do not like to... Yeah, and you know what? I am still kind of the persuasion that, you know what? Yeah, they should throw this out there. They technically have. This album did get its moment in the sun, kind of. And I do reference this later in the video, but on their 20th or 30th anniversary, they put out a gigantic vinyl box set of every single album they'd ever made up to that point. I wish to God I had bought one. I came this close to buying that original vinyl box set back in the day, but I had the choice between either that or my first iPhone, and like a moron, I went with the iPhone. I don't know, I don't necessarily regret the choice, because... I mean, I don't regret the choice because I really did need that phone at the time. I really, really did need a device to communicate with. I kind of needed it at the time, but... Oh man, I wish I bought that box set, because that box set now, it's out of print, so it goes for ungodly prices if you can find it anywhere. But that box set actually has the only other vinyl pressing outside of the original pressings of this record. I do like, about this video, I do like the running gag of the dorky dude with the keyboard. Oh, here it is. Let's just bask in this. Let's just let it play. Let's just let this play.
I only bring it up because
Oh my god, it works so well. It is so funny. It is so glorious. It's why after the video came out, I just had to... This is so good, I just need to put the whole fucking thing out there. And I did, and it was one of the first videos I ever had that went, like, quasi-semi-viral. I think for a brief while, the clip that I posted that was just this had more views than the actual video here itself. Oh, it's... Yeah, no, I love Losing Generation. Just, again... Almost not even as a guilty pleasure, just because it's so fucking goofy. It's so fucking... See, that's why I posit that this album should be out there somewhere. People deserve to see Losing Generation. They deserve to have the same fun that all of us have had with that wonderful little goofy song. Yeah. Oh. Oh my god, it's wonderful. Oh, Cry Youth Against Control. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your name there. I used the synth opening of this song for a school project once. Oh, you clipped it from this video? Oh, no shit. I hope it went over well, man. I hope you got a good grade on that. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, like, it's all just album cover. Yeah, oh. It is in the Google playlist for the album. Really? I didn't know that. See, I don't know if they've released this anywhere. I know it's not on, like, Spotify. It was never on iTunes or anything. You know, that would be kind of a cheeky move of them to release it, but to only release it on, like, unpopular platforms. Just, like, throw it out there, but only throw it out there on, like, Deezer or, like, Pandora. Nothing against, like, those Deezer, Pandora, or anything. But, you know, throw it out there to people. Throw it out there on someplace. Again.
I'm telling these son of a bitches
Just...
that we respect the Japanese of this country.
Have you been circumcised?
It works
Yeah, I have.
so well.
Well, your doctor must have had a good
It
impression
works
of it
so
all.
fucking well. Even with Samurai Cop, it just works.
Oh, really? Why did you come under?
Because I'm an undercover cop. I don't know, at this point, at that point in the video, this was me just doing promo for the bad movies that were getting popular at that time. Really? I don't know, that I should have got a kickback from fucking Tommy Wiseau and fucking the Samurai Cop people. Jesus Christ. Oh, but yeah, no, I still think, yeah, this guy, he was a purposeful running joke. You keep seeing him pop up and over. I kind of dug that. That's another one of my weird little favorite parts of this particular video. Just, I liked thinking up goofy shit for him to say and goofy little things to just do and pop in every now and again. I don't know. I liked that. It was one of those things I don't think many people caught or noticed with this particular vid, but it's a nice little joke I still like. I don't know, there are things when I watch my videos I'm like, okay, that was funny, or okay, that was cool. I kind of understand why people do still like to go back and watch them, but I don't know, when you're the creator of videos like this, your mistakes, or even just the mistakes that only you, like right there, why didn't I do another take? God damn it, Crash, you lazy bastard, just do another take. You know? Oh, although I'm still bad about that, I'll still leave in flub takes all the time. To be fair, I haven't gotten much better at that. But, I don't know, you notice your mistakes way more in that respect, you know? So... Oh, it wouldn't be an old school Rock Critic episode without a Rush reference in there.
Oh my god, I'm gonna say it.
Oh, here it is.
Words are gonna fall out of my mouth. The comment section
I'm gonna
is
say
gonna
it.
be alive,
The
but
thing
I'm
I've been
actually
saying
gonna
during this
say
whole
it.
commentary.
The album is actually pretty decent. I'm not saying it's an unknown classic or anything.
Yeah, again, this is just the part where I go into the whole, you know, it's not good, but I still appreciate its existence and I wish it was out there. It's more or less what I'm saying there. Good one from Tom Zed. Well, not a good one, well, a good question, but did you read the Bad Religion book by Jim Ruland? No, I haven't gotten around to it. No, I meant to buy it I meant to buy it on release day, but something came up and I never got around to purchasing. I still don't have a copy of it. I need to get that book before it starts becoming a little more pricey than it should be. But I still haven't read that book. I need to read that book. I will certainly pick that book up before we do How to Get Into Bad Religion. I'm sure that'll be a valuable research tool. But yeah, again, I need to pick that up. Thank you very much for reminding me, Tom Zed. I appreciate that. Oh, another good one from Alexander Schulten here. What are the badges on the battle jackets? Those are buttons, and I don't remember because I had that old battle jacket had a ton of buttons. Like back in the day, back in this earliest proto phase, I even had buttons scattered all over the back. The idea was I was just gonna cover the whole thing in like buttons and patches, like a crazy amount of buttons. But the thing is, I stopped doing that and I took off. I sort of limited the number of buttons because the jacket was too loud. Like the clicking of the buttons just rubbing against each other while I would move during filming was actually like getting picked up by my microphone, and it was just too loud. It was just every video would just be, and I just had to quit. I had to cut back after a while. But I don't know, but even at this early stage, I think there was like a good 40 buttons on my jacket back then. Like, oh. Like, I remember some of them. I had a Gorillaz pin, I had a CGBG pin, I had, a Gang of Four pin, Velvet Underground is on there, that orange one is a Minor Threat pin, a Germs pin, oh, a Bad Religion pin, actually, one of my pins, the one on, like, the right-hand side, under the Misfits skull, on the very left-handest most side there, the gray one, that is actually a Bad Religion True North pin. So, Bad Religion on top of Bad Religion there. Oh, there's an Iron Maiden pin on there. Yeah, I had a lot of pins. I did. Yeah, again, a reference to something that didn't necessarily need to be a reference. But okay, sure. The Nope meme. Because again, when was the last time you saw the old guy Nope meme? You know. Oh, another super chat. Thank you, Joey Jojo. Did I see Todd's vid on Saint Anger? I did, and he did a great job on it. He did a fantastic job. Honestly, I like his video better than mine. I honestly do. But again, also because my Saint Anger video was literally the very first fucking video I ever fucking did. I've already done a commentary on that first video, and again, I was watching some of my older videos just to kind of get the vibe for how, you know, just to kind of get the vibe for how my channel kind of progressed leading into this, and like, oh, that one's rough. That one's super duper rough around the edges. Oh, that one, it's almost cute in how inept that first one is, but, oh, but yeah, nah, it's, no, he did a great job with that. He did a great job. He really broke that album down in a very interesting way. In a way that I did not have the capacity to back then. And you know what? I appreciate it. Say, I would agree with most of his points there. And it certainly is a train record. It certainly does count. So hell yeah. Good job. Absolutely wonderful job he did there. Oh. Another one from Devin Sterling. I kind of don't want to answer this one, but it's a super chat. Do you still like Alkaline Trio or him? I still love him. I love him. I will be talking about him in a greater capacity here in the upcoming days, but I do love him. I love him. Fucking Heartagram. Fucking Heartagram super emo bullshit. I love it. Alkaline Trio. Okay, I'm less... I like the music. I do have fond memories of the music. I don't know, some of that stuff that came out about Skiba, though, does make me... At the very least, it makes me roll my eyes. Apparently, he, like, stands cops and is, like, kind of... Apparently, he's a great big tool bag behind the scenes. I don't know, a lot of that stuff is also... It's also hearsay. It's also he said, she said. I don't know, it's one of those things I don't even want to touch with a 10-foot pole, necessarily. But apparently... shitty things have come out about Skiba in recent interviews and stuff, so it's like, I don't know, apparently he stands cops. Apparently he's a big supporter of cops and, like, thin blue line bullshit, which, dude, you're a punk rocker. You're an alkaline fucking tree. Whatever. I don't even want to spend a lot of time on it, but yeah, I still like the music, though. I still do have a soft spot in my heart for the music, I really do, but... I don't know, again, he said, she said, who I would really rather not touch that shit. Thank you for the super chats. Free Brick Productions. Ever thought about redoing Saint Anger? No. No, I mean, the thing is, it's also, the thing with Saint Anger, too, is that so many other people have done it. You know, it's one of those things. Hell, the reason I chose it was because it was an easy target. I don't know if I have anything new to say. If I were to do another, video on Saint Anger, I would have to, I would have to, have something new to say, or something new to bring to the table, and I kind of don't. I kind of don't have anything I want to say. Again, another good green screen bit. I love this. I love this bit here. Yep. This was... I think that was the whole... That bit right there. I think that was the whole reason I wanted to even buy a green screen. Was so I could do that bit right there with the kid and the classic suffer pose. I think that was the impetus behind it. I think that was what made me decide, okay, let's justify the cost. Let's buy a green screen just so we can do that. Like... And yeah, Suffer, again, Suffer and Back to the Known, those were the records that, like, really, just, those were the records that got people back on board in a big way. Suffer is a fucking all-time punk rock classic. Wow, I'm sorry, folks. That just happened right outside my window there. I think the mic picked that up, sorry. But people outside my apartment acting cray. That's why I'm about to move here. But but yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Rid. Where did you get the visuals for the "Do What You Want" song there? I'm not sure. I think I just lifted those videos. I think I just lifted those effects from, like, I think I just googled a random YouTube video for, like, trippy psychedelic effects, or, oh, these colors will blow your mind. I think I just downloaded one of those color blendy kind of weird clips people upload to YouTube. I downloaded it. I believe I, like, sped up the footage, turned down the transparency. Oh, here's the box set. Here is that box set I was talking about. Yeah, people. Oh. I hate that I didn't buy this box set. This fucking box set. I should have bought this fucking box set. Because this thing goes for thousands. Oh my god, $199? Oh, I thought it was like $500. Yeah, no. People, it's gone up since then. It's gone up since then. It's gone up since then. I think last time I saw it, it was in like the $3,000 range. Like, oh, I should have bought it when I had the chance. I should. My biggest vinyl regret. I would love to track that down. That is like my vinyl. Now that I'm collecting vinyl again, that fucking box set, that is a holy fucking grail for me. I would adore. If any of y'all have that box set and don't mind letting it go, hit up your boy. But, that was probably what I did for those effects, Rid. I do want to move on to some of these other super chats here. I don't want to miss some of your questions. Devin Jackson, thank you very much. I would love a How to Get Into Metallica, also on the table. Completely on the table. I will totally do a How to Get Into Metallica someday. I totally can. I'm a big Metallica fan. God help me. But, I love Metallica. I totally could do that video, and I will do that video someday. Maybe, if Metallica drops new material on us here soon, yeah, I could do that. Rid, following up on your super chat, thank you very much. But, I wasn't talking about the trippy stuff, I meant the footage of the band playing. See here, okay, here was another, dilemma in writing this. I didn't have footage of them playing any of material from this live, like, at all. Because, like I mentioned in the video, it was only performed live once. That show was, well, they performed other songs from this record here and there, just out of shits and giggles, but, I couldn't find any of that footage, but they only performed, when it was released, they only performed material from it live once. That show was not taped, and playing those songs live went over so poorly that they never did it again. So, these were taken, some of it I pulled from YouTube, just I tried to capture concerts that were taken as soon as this era came out as possible. But again, footage from this early in their career, it's kind of weird. It's easy to find stuff from their How Did Hell Get Any Worse? How Could Hell Get Any Worse era? Because the band themselves have uploaded footage from that era. They've uploaded some local TV, some local public access shows that they did. The band themselves have provided from that era. They haven't provided anything from this era, obviously. And up until about like, I want to say like No Control. A Generator. Or not Generator. Oh no, Generator. That's right. Yeah. Their fourth album with Atomic Garden. You know, that one kind of semi blew up in the 90s. So around that time was when they started to put out more more DVDs, and more bootlegs of their shows started circulating. So I found bootleg footage. I believe a lot of this footage was taken from YouTube. I believe that was taken probably around the Generator era, around maybe the Against the Grain era. That was about as early as I could get. Some of those shows may have been taken down from YouTube now. I don't know. You know how YouTube is, especially with, you know, concert footage or bootleg footage and stuff. I basically just worked with what I had. I superimposed the music that I got from YouTube, and I just superimposed that over the oldest concert footage I could find, but I couldn't find much. Some of those shows may no longer exist, or at least on YouTube they may not exist, but it's a shame. I might still have them buried on a hard drive somewhere. I should double check to see if I do, because I don't know. They're certainly good. Oh wow, we're already at the end. Remember when my title cards were just literally a ripoff of Todd's? Oh man. And this was this is one of the first Patreon rolls here. These are like some of the OGs here, some of the very first people to ever give to my Patreon. Some of these people are still here. Like, I recognize he may not be there. I know Corey Hood is still an active patron. Say Luke Spencer, I have no idea who that could be. Yeah, old school people there. Oh.
The one, the only motherfucker.
Oh, see, that's the thing. Especially these days, I rarely do bloopers because you have to leave time for your title cards, you know, for your links and your other follow through and your credits. You got to leave time for that on YouTube. YouTube makes that a little more tricky, so I don't do a lot of bloopers these days. But yeah, it probably took me like 3 or 4 fucking tries to actually get that take right, because the stupid button, I don't know, if I didn't button it, it wouldn't stay like closed, and if I buttoned it, it wouldn't fucking, you know, unwrap like I want, or, you know, explode out like I wanted to do. So oh man. Okay, hang on. We have someone spam in the chat. Let me just double check real quick here. Okay. No, we're all right. Okay, we got one more super chat here, and then we'll start to wind things down. Which video of yours would you have to say is a personal favorite, especially in terms of making it? Ooh, that is a good question. In terms of making it, I would probably say either How to Get Into Rush. That was a good one to make. How to Get Into Tragically Hip was also very fun because, again, I love talking about the hip. They're a band that nobody knows. They're just one of those bands that I have tried to get people into them, but I don't know, people just aren't. A massive amount of people, well, people who aren't Canadian at least, just aren't gonna get into this band. And you know, I kind of get it too. It is dad rock. They are a very dad rocky band, but but that was also fun to make because, again, I got to sort of lay out in my own haphazard amateur way how to get into Tragically Hip. I'll probably do another video on Tragically Hip before all is said and done. I have other stuff I can say about them. But that was another big one. I would also say all my favorites are How to Get Into. But I would say another big favorite is, another big favorite of mine was How to Get Into Dark Souls. I loved doing that video. And it sucks because that video doesn't have as many views as it should have. I don't know. I've tried to get y'all interested in some of the gaming content and some of the other stuff I do outside of music. I don't know. I don't know. It's harder to get people to bite for that, which I understand. Y'all know me as a music channel. It's just kind of bred into, your headspace. Crash is music guy, so I understand. I'm not like bitter about it or anything. Maybe a little. I wish y'all would watch that stuff. But no, that was a great one to make. That was a fun... Again, just gushing about something I absolutely adored to tears. And I did help some people get into that series. I did get lots of lovely comments and feedback on that. So, yeah, no, I loved doing that. I loved it. You know what? If you want to do me a solid, right after this one, if you're not sick of hearing my voice already, check out How to Get Into Dark Souls. That was a great video to make. I had a lot of fun doing it, and it's... You know what? If you've been thinking about getting into those games, or you just want to know what the big deal is, you don't know what the big deal is with those, check it out. I do my best. I do my best with it. There's probably other good ones out there. There are probably people who... I'm sure there's lots of people who do it better than I do, but I had my fun with it. I had a fun time. So, okay, another... thank you, Devin, for one more... we got another super chat here, so I'll answer yours, Devin, and then we'll start to wrap things up. Have you considered doing movie reviews? Devin, here's the thing. I actually did post about this in, I think it was the last I Love This Song. The one we did on Lady Gaga. Another video that could use some more views. The one we did on Poker Face. I actually, at the beginning of the year, I threw up a Patreon poll to let people vote, and I sneakily threw on... I was going to do another I Love This, but I threw on two other options. How about instead of I Love This Song, we do I Love This Movie, or I Love This Game? So I let them vote. I let them decide, thinking, okay, they're gonna go for movie or game, because that's something we've never done before. I've done a million I Love This songs, and I don't know, the I Love This series doesn't do that well. It does okay. Like, people do watch those, but it's not one of the more popular series. So I figured it'd be one of those sort of series that people would be willing to kind of bend or twist, or, oh, I don't care if you fuck with the formula a bit on this one, Crash. Okay, go ahead. I love this movie, or whatever. So I threw those options on there, and I Love This Song won by like 20% or something. I'm gonna have to force it on you, I guess, is what that basically amounts to. I'm just gonna have to force an either I love this game or an I love this movie. But yes, I have some ideas for movie-based episodes. I do have to warn you, though, my taste in movies is weird. Even weirder than my taste in music and other shit. But I have a weird taste in movies. I wouldn't even say I have good taste in movies. I like weird shit. So, okay, Nick, another super chat here. Hey, Crash, I missed this one, but I want to say it's kind of great to see you more healthy and happy compared to the video. Yeah, thank you, Nick. Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment and the super chat. Thank you very much. It's weird. Like, it's weird seeing that this guy here, when this video was shot, I was probably like 320, 310, 320. I was over 300 pounds when I shot this video. And I mean, like, the pandemic, to be fair, I am still not Mr. Slim Svelte. You know, I'm not at 230 anymore. The damn pandemic has made it hard to get to the gym and hard to, So I've probably gained about 20 pounds. I'm at around 250 right now. So I could do better, but I'm still doing like okay. I'm still in a decent range, But yeah, I was not taking care of myself during this period. It took me a long time to actually... like I say, I went vegetarian. I went on the whole bent because I had a big health scare. and I needed to do something to get myself back on track here. Actually, during this era, I was also smoking during this era too. My God, I was still smoking, and I was probably up to about a half a pack a day. I was 300 pounds, smoking half a pack of cigarettes a day. Man, y'all, I should have looked much rough. I should have looked much rougher. I mean, I guess I do look pretty rough in these videos, but man, if I look rough, it's for a reason. You know, I was not taking good care of myself, you know? I've been doing much better about that. Thank you for the compliment, and thank you very much. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And yes, thank you, Alex Kawa. Quitting cigarettes was definitely one of the hardest. Don't smoke. Don't smoke tobacco, at least. I will say that. Don't smoke tobacco. It's terrible for you, and it's hard as hell to quit. Another super chat here. Okay, guys, I'm going to try to wrap this up. If you guys keep dropping super chats, we can keep going here, but I do need to wrap this up eventually. I need to get dinner here eventually. But I'll answer yours here, and then if things quiet down, we'll call it for the day. But your favorite bands vid got me into Slater Kinney. Oh, good to hear, Joey Jojo. Yeah, Slater Kinney. Great stuff. Again, they are another band I could do a How to Get Into on. I honestly could do one on Slater Kinney. If there were enough interest, I would certainly be down for that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But, yeah. Oh. Yes, Devin, I was a smoker. I was a smoker for 7 years. 7 years I smoked. And by the end, I was smoking a lot. I think at my apex, I was probably at 2/3 to 3/4 of a pack a day at my absolute worst. I was a bad smoker, too. I was a really bad smoker. I wasn't like I never got to a full pack a day, to my credit, but like, ugh, I was still really bad. And it was bad for me, and I mean, when you're this big, you shouldn't be smoking on top of that. Like, oof. I'm just saying, y'all, if I croak at like early 40s, early 50s, you know why. I just was not taking care of myself. Okay, final question. Final question here from Adequate Emily. I believe this is the question we need to end things off on. Pee pee poo poo or poo poo pee pee? I am going to throw you a dark horse in this question, Emily. Pee pee poo poo, poo poo pee pee? Neither. I farted, I shitted, I peed, I camed. I farted, I shitted, I peed, I camed. That is my preference. That is my preference. I feel bad for anyone who stepped into the video during that last session. But, okay, folks, we'll wrap things up here. Thank you all very much for jumping onto this. Again, I guess this was more of a Q&A than a direct commentary. I tried to bring it back to the video when I could, but I guess that's one of the problems with doing this live like this, you know. It's hard to stay focused on the topic at hand. You know, you're kind of darting all over the place. We didn't talk a ton about this video, but you know, I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. I'm glad we had fun. Actually, Emily, you didn't ruin the stream. I think you made it magical. I think you did. But no, thanks again for jumping in. This was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for your super chats. Thank you for again for tuning in, for indulging us. Thank you very much for the patrons who suggested this. Again, Patreon is Crash Thompson XO. Links down in the video description. Again, you guys can, like I say, you guys can vote in certain videos. You can get stuff early access. That's also a fun time if you want to. The Patreon people were what helped make this happen. So if you want to maybe get involved in that, feel free to check that out. But thank you all very much for jumping on. This was fun. This was very nostalgic. This was kind of a nice little jaunt down memory lane when things were, well, they weren't more innocent, but they were certainly fatter. They were much fatter times. And but thank you all. This was fun. I'm glad you guys had a good time. I'm glad you guys liked the video, and stay tuned. I will be dropping more stuff here and there. Stay tuned for the Guilty Pleasures video. Stay tuned for some other stuff that may be coming down the pipeline. Thanks again, and you guys have a lovely evening. I will catch you some other time. I should have thought of a sign off, but I didn't.